So if you are into hunting, fishing, camping, hiking, trail riding, you definitely want to check out this video. I'm out here this morning on a piece of public land in Tuscaloosa County. And in this video, I'm going to break down to you 3 different pieces of public land that we have access to in the Tuscaloosa County area that will give you access to nearly 100,000 acres for less than $50 per year. We are very fortunate in the state of Alabama overall, but particularly in Tuscaloosa County, to have access to a couple great pieces of land like the one I'm on right here. This one that I'm on right here. I'm out here turkey hunting this morning. Spent a little bit of time in this area, not having any luck. I'm about to get back in the truck and head to another spot. And I can do that because on this one piece of land that I'm on right now, we've got access to over 32,000 acres alone on this one parcel of land that I'm going to tell you about. So if you're into the outdoors, you definitely are going to want to stick around for this video. I'm going to give you all the details, where to go to get the permits, how to find your way around, and even some sightseeing spots that you might want to go check out if you have the desire and the interest to go check these places out. Let's go ahead and jump into today's video. All right, hey, I'm back in the office now. Unfortunately, I was not successful on my turkey hunting excursion, but I did have a good time and look forward to many, many more. It's been kind of a slow start to the year, to be honest with you. So now that I'm back at the office, I want to show you on the screen where these properties are, and I also want to show you where you can get more information and where you can go online to get your license and the permit that you would need to be able to access these properties. But before I do that, I do want to let you know there's a link below where you can click the link and get on my weekly list of homes in the Tuscaloosa area with 5 acres or more. So me and my family, we kind of live out in the country. We're on a dirt road. We do have right at 5 acres, but we're surrounded by woods. We're the only house on the dirt road, and I absolutely love being able to let my kids run around. The dogs kind of roam free, and they go around and visit their friends and come back. They've got freedom. We have we have deer in our yard. I've actually hunted behind my house before. We have had a tractor in the past. I don't have one right now, but we've planted gardens. We've planted fields for the deer. We can shoot firearms whenever we want to. And if that's something that you're interested in, click that link below, sign yourself up. And every Monday morning, I send out a list of all the homes that are currently on the market with 5 acres or more. If you want to live the country / outdoor / farming lifestyle the way that we are, that's a really, really good place to start. So yeah, getting back to today's topic, we do have access, being in the Tuscaloosa area, living in Tuscaloosa County, you do have access to a couple big pieces of public land that's going to run around 100,000 acres. Hard to tell exactly how many. And honestly, to be honest with you, some of that is in Tuscaloosa and some of it is just across the Tuscaloosa County line. So let me show you here, on the map. This icon here in the middle is Bryant-Denny Stadium, right? So if I zoom in on that, that is Bryant-Denny Stadium there on the map. So just want you to know kind of what that is. That's kind of the center of town, right? You can kind of see the outline here of Tuscaloosa County, and the couple pieces of land that I'm talking about. The one that probably gets used the most for me in particular, and I think from other people, kind of in the local area, is this one here just south of Tuscaloosa here. You can see I'm using Onyx, ONX. It's an app that you can use on your phone. It basically turns your phone into a GPS. Even if you don't have cell phone service, which you won't in some of these areas, you will not have cell phone service. You can still pull out the app and it will blink a little blue dot on the map to let you know where you are, so that you can know whether you're on this piece of public land or if you are accidentally trespassing on private land. But down here, we've got the Oakmulgee Wildlife Management Area. And if we click on this here, it brings it up here. It's taking a second here, but it says, hopefully you can see that on the map there, 45,000 acres. That's even bigger than what I thought. 45,000 acres here of wildlife management area. So what this area is it's an area that's managed by the state of Alabama, and that area is managed and has a little bit different rules than what the rest of the state has in effect. So their opening days for deer season, their opening day for turkey season, what days can you take, a buck if you're a deer hunter like me, and then, there are antler restrictions. That's got to be a certain size buck to be able to take it there on on the management area. So that's number one. You also have kind of around there, kind of the surrounding area, is you have some Talladega National Forest. This is federal land. U.S. service area is federal land. So that one parcel right there, that is in Tuscaloosa County. It says 9,222 acres on that one there. And then on this one here, another 1,518 acres there on that one. And you have some of that, to the south as well. So you'll kind of see, some of these areas have the little green dots on it. That is wildlife management area. The ones that are around it that don't have the green dots, like this over here, that's going to be national forest. And it's kind of hard sometimes to know which one is which. I'm going to show you some other websites where you can get some more information. So that's number one. You can also see in here, there are like some campgrounds. So like there's a campground right there, Payne Lake, Payne. It's like a campground. You can fish there, you can camp there, you can hike there, you can pull in your camper. And there's another one in here as well on this main road here. So it's not showing up on this map, but I'll show you one where it is. You've essentially, as a Tuscaloosa resident, for me, from where I live, it takes me about 40 minutes, maybe 45 minutes to get to this area. But once I'm there, I can fish, I can hunt, I can camp, I can spend the night. Now, it's not going to be, a campground with power and water hookups. You're not going to be able to bring a camper out there and hook it into a power outlet. You can bring the camper out there, but you're going to have to use a generator. You're going to have to, keep your wastewater tank, going, and then you go somewhere to dump it to get rid of your wastewater. But it's there, and I'm going to show you where to go get the permit here in just a second. So that's number one. That's south of town, kind of in the southeast corner. Again, that's Bryant-Denny Stadium. So southeast of the city of Tuscaloosa. You also have where I went turkey hunting the other day. Up here in this upper corner, I guess that would be the northeast corner of Tuscaloosa County, you have another wildlife management area called Mulberry Fork Wildlife Management Area. Sorry, it's being kind of slow with clicking on it for some reason. This one is broken into a lot of smaller parcels, but I believe the map that I'll show you on the State of Alabama website has it listed on, there we go, 14,718 just in that one parcel. And then there's a bunch of other parcels here, like on the other side of the river. So I think all in all, it ends up being about 32,000 acres in total. Yeah, so that one parcel right there on Onyx says 3,508. Very similar. This is run by the state of Alabama. The rules on this one are different than the one south of town at Oakmulgee. Okay, so they got different rules, different seasons, different restrictions. I'll show you where to go to check that here in a second. So that's number 2. And then the third one you have is a much smaller parcel, but it is one that I have spent some time at. Again, kind of reorienting the map there. That is Bryant-Denny Stadium. And if we come out here to the west part of Tuscaloosa County, we have these 2 pieces of land. On here it says Alabama Trust Fund. Alabama Trust Fund. These are a program in the state of Alabama called Forever Wild. Basically, the state buys properties and people also donate properties to the state of Alabama. And those are protected under a state law that says they will forever be wild, right? They're not going to cut trees down off of it to sell it for lumber. They're not going to ever let it be developed. They're not going to build a hotel on it. They're not going to put a state park on it. They're just going to essentially let it be wild. And again, a different set of rules. This one here, the southern end is the one that I've spent the most time on. Is 2,533 acres on that one parcel. I think there's a little bit more too, 608 on that one. But you can kind of see that one there. And then there's one on the north side of Highway 82 as well. Again, these are put into several parcels, so it's hard to get a total number there. 300 something on the first one, 768 there. But let me show you where to actually go to get access to these. So the outdooralabama.com, there's also an Outdoor Alabama app, and I use the Outdoor Alabama app a ton. It's a great website and it's a great app. It has all of the hunting and fishing seasons, the bag limits, the dates, the maps of each individual management area. So to access those, you would go to hunting, or if you're on the app, you can go to where to hunt. I'm going to go where to hunt, and you can see here wildlife management areas, special opportunity areas, which are like a draw system they have a couple times a year. They have these very small pieces of land where you can maybe hunt like a 300 or 400 acre area that used to be private, and it's kind of exclusive, and your name gets drawn. You can go do that. We also have the Forever Wild Land Trust, which you can click on that, the U.S. Forest Service, and then up along some of the rivers, we actually have U.S. Army Corps of Engineer land as well that you can access. You just have to get to it normally by boat. Normally, there are some areas where you can walk in, you can park, your vehicle, and then you can walk in. But most of those areas are going to be small little parcels up and down the river, areas that would flood, that people wouldn't be able to build houses on. The U.S. Army Corps of Engineer allows you to get a permit for that. So if you go into wildlife management areas, you'll find all the ones in the state of Alabama. And there's a ton of them, right? If you're willing to drive a little bit in the state of Alabama, you have access to nearly 1 million acres of public land in the state of Alabama. So let me go to Oakmulgee. Again, this is the one that's kind of on the southeast side of town. And let me just kind of zoom in there. And you can see, that's the map. And then right here, you've got the dates when everything comes in. For me, for turkey season, that's when it came in. They did a youth hunt, which me and my 6-year-old did this year. We went on the 28th and we did the youth hunt. And then, the turkey regular season here is April 1st to May 8th. And you can see on this map, you can kind of see a little bit more detail about what's going on, in these areas. Where are the campgrounds? There's really good, a good map here. Where's the check-in station? Where are the camping areas? Oakmulgee actually has a firearms range too. If you just want to go somewhere to shoot, you don't care anything about hunting, you can go down to the target range and you can shoot on the wildlife management area at a designated target range area with benches that have lanes, and I think it's set up for maybe 100 yards or so type shot. So again, Outdoor Alabama, Where to Hunt, and then Mulberry Fork, again, they have, slightly different rules, slightly different seasons. I believe the turkey season was the same. Turkey season is the same here, but the deer hunt days are going to be different. And again, that's where you would go to get the information about those. If we go back here to the places, the Forever Wild Land tracks with hunting. Let me go. Here's the Sipsey River South Zone. This is the one I showed you, the small strip, the one that's south of Highway 82. This has all the information there. You've actually got to print this permit out and sign it and date it and have it on you. I don't know why it's different for this one, but you'll learn that these different tracts of land have different rules. So you have to actually print this one out and have it in your possession. It has all the rules here on it. And, to get the licenses, you can just go on the Outdoor Alabama app or here to outdooralabama.com. I'm just going to make up something here. I just want to show you how affordable this is. If you go to, again, as a resident in the state of Alabama, if you're going to hunt those wildlife management areas, WMAs, you have to have the residential wildlife management area license, which is $22.75. $22.75, and you have access to hundreds of thousands of acres, right? So you'll need that, and then you'll need the residential hunting, either the all game or the small game. You can see there the all game is $34.35. So $34.35. You've got to have the overall the hunting license, and then to hunt these wildlife management areas, you've got to have a wildlife management area license. Okay. Now the way that it works, the way that it works for actually accessing these properties. Let's say you wanted to drive down here and you wanted to go to Oakmulgee Wildlife Management Area. You can drive down there and do some scouting, but anytime that you access these properties, you have to check in. All right. The easiest way to check in is through the Outdoor Alabama app. You can literally just open up the app, and there's a button right there on the home page that says Wildlife Management Check-In, and you just put what day and what time and which management area you're going to. Check in before you go, right? Before I leave the house, right? So if I get up, one day this week, if I decide to go turkey hunting before work, I'll wake up at, 4:30. I'll go ahead and check in on my phone, which one I'm going to, what time it is. I'll go there, I'll do my hunting, and when I'm done, I need to check out, right? I think that helps them know how many people are using these, how much funding to put towards these different properties. They do all the work, right? I've had, again, I've got 5 acres of land that I live on. I had my own private lease. I leased about a little over 300 acres of land for 7 or 8 years. Unfortunately, the landowner got an incredible offer for the property and decided to sell it. I don't blame them. I probably would have done the same thing if I was them. So I lost that. And to be honest with you, my kids are young. I kind of like being able to just get up and go and not having to deal with road maintenance, right? When I had that lease, that big piece of land, 300 something acres, every time we had a big storm, there'd be trees that would fall down. Have to go up there with a tractor and push them off the road, or go up there with a chainsaw and cut those trees up and move them off. We would go up there and plant fields. We would fertilize things. We would have to mow the fields in the summertime. We would mow the roads so that they wouldn't get overgrown, right? The great thing about hunting these public lands is you got thousands of acres to hunt on, and you don't have to do any of the maintenance, right? You don't need a tractor. You don't need heavy equipment. You don't have to go do work days. You can pay about 50 something dollars to get the 2 licenses you need and go whenever you want to. And if you don't go, it's not like you spend a fortune to buy a big piece of land and now have to maintain that piece of land. I'll be honest with you, it's fun having a piece of land. Doing the work is half the fun. But with my kids being young and us being very involved in church and real estate, and I kind of like the season of life I'm in right now, where I'm just hunting, public land in Alabama. So you've got access to it there. Again, if you're willing to drive a little bit in Alabama, let me zoom on out here a little bit. If you're willing to drive, just an hour or two in Tuscaloosa, you've got access to a lot more as well. This one up here, the William B. Bankhead National Forest area, 89,567 acres, a ton of land, right? So, some of the negatives, one of the only negatives that I can really think of when it comes to hunting public land is it's first come, first serve, right? And, you don't know where other people necessarily are. So it could be unsafe depending on who's out there, right? So I'll tell you a true story. The other day, I woke up early. I had a place that I thought would be, pretty good for hunting up here at Mulberry Fork, and I got up in the morning. I drove to my spot. I was excited. I pulled up to the parking area where I would park my truck and walk in, and there was 2 trucks already there. Unfortunately, I was like, dang it, they beat me to it. So no worries though, right? I drove down the road. I found another spot. I went in. I didn't hear anything. I didn't see anything. And about 8:30, I thought, let me go back to that spot. If those guys didn't have any success, maybe they left, and maybe I can go in there, right? So it's kind of an unwritten rule that if somebody beats you there, you're not going to walk into the area where they're at, right? Number one, that could be unsafe. But number two, like, they got up earlier than I did. They beat me to that spot. So I'm not going to go in there and mess them up just because I didn't wake up as early as they did. So I went back by that spot, and I happened to catch them. They were, coming back to their trucks, and I got out of my truck, and I was going to walk in, but I asked them, hey guys, how was your morning? Are you guys finished here? And they were like, man, they were gobbling like crazy, and we got two turkeys this morning. So I was like, dang it, I should have got up a little bit earlier to get to that really, really good spot. But that's just the way it goes, right? If you fish, on the river, like, sometimes you have an idea to go to a spot and you get there and somebody beats you there. It's no different here, but there's thousands and thousands of acres that you have access to hunt on in the state of Alabama. And if you have any questions about it, feel free to comment below, or schedule a time on my calendar. My calendar link's below as well. You can pull that up. It'll let you see my schedule to see what times I have available. We can do a quick phone call or a video chat to kind of point you in the right direction. I'm no expert hunter. I love it. Most people, when they think of real estate agents, they think of like golfers and country club and, silver spoon type people. I play a little bit of golf, but I'm not any good. I just started playing again like a year ago with my dad. We go out and maybe play a couple times a month. We're not any good. We just go out there and have fun. But I love the outdoors. And living in Tuscaloosa, we have so much access to land like this that you can hunt, fish, hike, ride on. Like, Oakmulgee alone supposedly has over 200 miles of dirt roads. You can literally just get out there and just ride around, right? Follow the rules. Make sure you're not going where you're not supposed to. But we have big, big pieces of land. We are very fortunate in this area to have some pieces of land like this, and to have the lakes and the rivers that we do when it comes to fishing and boating, and more campgrounds along the water as well. So if you need any help pointing you in the right direction, I would love to hop on a chat with you. Thanks for checking out today's video.